Welcome to the next module of this Job Search Essentials for Papua New Guineans course by the PNG Recruiter. We are now on the module of proper telephony skills to have during job seeking process. Alright, that's highly recommended by the PNG Recruiter. Alright, so we get into it. By developing and demonstrating these telephony skills, job seekers can significantly enhance their chances of making a positive impression during phone interactions in the job seeking process. Alright, so here's a few you should have when job seeking and using a mobile phone or a telephone when communicating in regards to job opportunities that you've applied for. Alright, so we've got points 1 and 2 here. So we go straight into point 1, which is professional greetings. Alright, so professional greetings, what you just basically do is, you have to sound confident on the phone, huh? And you apply Lodisla walk, so you know you have to be on alert all the time. Any new number that comes in on your phone, expect it to be um, a call from any of those places where you sent your application to. So when it's a new number that's calling, a landline number whatsoever, um, you know, not many of us get calls every day from landline numbers. So obviously, if you are um, expecting a call from a potential employer that you've applied to, and you get a landline number, you already know it's most definitely these people that are calling in regards to that application you applied or sent to them, probably for a vacancy. So, you know, when you get their call, you should be expecting something like that to occur. So, you have to master a confident and professional introduction. So, what you just do is like, you say, hello, this is Douglas speaking. So, be kind and be courteous and be expectant of a call. So also using a clear and friendly tone to convey enthusiasm is key. So like how I um, said earlier, uh, that was me answering the call in a very friendly tone to convey my enthusiasm. Like, okay, these guys are probably calling me, the ones that I sent my application to. So you must convey that in the call too. Alright. In that way, you are already achieving a professional greeting, uh, showing the recruiter or the hiring manager on the line that you're professional and you're keen on the opportunity. You were ready all along to take the call. So that's how those little things lead towards nailing a job interview and getting job employment opportunities. All right. Okay. So that's for professional greetings. Now we move on to point 2, which is active listening. All right. Active listening is basically paying close attention to whoever it is on the line. All right. So active listening is like you are listening, you're not talking, but everything the person is saying is registering in your mind and you have full understanding of what they are saying. So that's the sort of listening technique you need to have, especially when you are job seeking and expecting calls from potential employers. All right. So always pay close attention to the recruiter or interviewer when they're on the line. Huh? As soon as they say, hello, I'm calling from this and that company. I'd like to speak with Douglas. That's when you activate your active listening ability and you start talking, but then at the same time, you got your active listening ears on. So you are listening and taking in, consuming everything that interviewer or recruiter is saying on the line. So also responding appropriately to questions or prompts is important. It shows that you are uh, listening actively and attentively to the person on the line who's talking to you about a potential job interview, right? So it's not nice to uh, after they are giving all the instructions and then says, hello, Inabito again. Or hello, sorry, I didn't hear what you were saying. Could you repeat yourself? Yeah, that's kind of rude. So, you know, I mean, it's nice if you um, say that when you actually haven't heard what the person was saying on the line. Could be anything that caused that, like, you're in a busy location that's noisy, or a car just drove by you and made a lot of noise and you missed out on what the person on the phone, the recruiter on the phone was saying. It's okay, but try your best to um, not go there. Take all the information in, and if you are confused about anything, that's when you go to the last resort, which is asking them to repeat themselves on the line. Okay, so yeah, responding appropriately to questions or prompts on the first go. Um, when asked questions or given the opportunity to ask questions on the phone, that's great. It shows that you are a good listener, and you're already showing them that you are active in your listening abilities and you take in instructions on the first go when instructed. Right, that's already showing that um, you're a good candidate. You know, small things like this lead to big things. So try to take this answering the call professionally, giving active listening, and not having to ask the person on the line to repeat themselves. All these other things that we've gone through in the modules. Um, if you happen to practice that, you're already giving a good signal off to recruiters and um, HR personnel who are trying to interview you or hire you or have a chat with you in regards to job opportunities. You're already setting yourself up and for a positive result and showing them from the start in those small occasions and actions that you are ready to you know take part in being an employer with their organization. Okay, we're on the next slide of the proper telephony skills to have during job seeking process recommended by the PNG recruiter. Right. So um, we're on points 3 and 4, and we now move on to point 3, which is effective verbal communication. All right. So in effective verbal communication, it says here that you need to articulate thoughts clearly and concisely, right? And avoid filler words and unnecessary jargon. So, firstly, articulating thoughts clearly and concisely, right? So, if you ask a question, you just answer it straight away. It's very annoying as a recruiter when we ask a simple question and the candidate on the line, or they're not getting straight to the point. They're trying to beat around the bush, or it seems like that, and it sort of builds frustration and shows also that it questions whether, or the recruiter starts questioning whether you're the right candidate for the role or not, because it's they expect you to give the answer right away. In those sort of cases, yeah, it's either you're nervous or you are not telling the truth or you're trying to hide something. So it's always good to be honest in an interview, or if you're talking to somebody on the phone, um, who's trying to recruit you, or is talking to you about the vacancy you applied for. So you know the best way to articulate your thoughts clearly and concisely, without mucking around and not speaking clearly, is you just be honest, be authentic, like how we talked about in our previous modules. um, that's the best way you can sound like you're the real deal and you are ready to take on the job. So articulate thoughts clearly and concisely, um, as much as possible, and if you need help, all you need to do is just be honest, be authentic. That's all you need, and uh, you'll start speaking clearly and straight to the point. No beating around the bush. All right. And when it comes to the second point here, and where it says avoiding filler words and unnecessary jargon, yeah, that may be something that you should try to avoid. But you know, no PNG and English and second language permit plus. So if you are struggling to put words together, you know, just do your best to uh, put the right words together and answering questionnaire, recruiter or phone or asking you. If you don't feel comfortable speaking in English, just ask him one. Inat mi tok lo tok pisin, and then mabakirap no talk. Yes, no worries. You talk lo tok pisin. Feel comfortable. See, the reason why they are calling you is because they are interested in you. Because oh, look, CV blue. It's a very good CV. It's got everything. So now they want you to talk like how you put the words down on your CV now, or like checking whether you matching this the CV blue or not. And the only way to do that is by, like we said above, clearly talk, articulate thoughts clearly and concisely when you are talking. And um, in order to achieve that, or filler words and also um uh like in this module too, I've been using a lot of filler words, but that's only because English is a second language to me. Me plus a talk PC, but at least me trying best on me. So you must do your best as well when you are asked questions by a recruiter on the phone. Yeah, try as much as possible to just get straight to the point, concisely and clearly, without using any filler words like and and unnecessary jargon. Unnecessary jargon could be like, talk line about. I mean, it's good to do that on the line. Um, Work is on the funny, lessen the tense environment on the line and make you feel relaxed. But yeah, just try to limit that and stick to the point. Yeah, so try to do that. But yeah, the best thing I can say, where you can articulate thoughts clearly, concisely, and stop giving these filler words and talk unnecessary or jargon number. All you need to do is just tell the truth. Speak like how you would speak at home and to your family members, and just be normal and just answer the questions accordingly, and pull from your experience. That's how you rely on your honesty to be authentic, and you can listen well and participate in the interview, cooperatively, and you will come out just fine at the end. So when you do that, you are achieving effective verbal communication in in a job seeking process, where you will be needed to utilize proper telephony skills. All right. So that's on effective verbal communication. And now we move on to number four, which is professional voicemail etiquette. All right. So sometimes you might have missed a call. Um, the, you know, you're looking Muslim on the number appearing as missed call is like a landline number, and you'll be like, oh, it must be these guys that I applied to. Over the call or interview. So you call back that number, you got some luck credit, then you call back, but um, that person is not in the office now. Call you go to voicemail. All right. So suppose you go to voicemail, the best way to do, the best thing to do in a professional way is one is creating a concise and well crafted voicemail message. All right. Okay, what you can do is if you happen to go to a voicemail, your call is directed to a voicemail. Um, like situation story past them. So if your call goes to a voicemail, what you just need to do is put the like at the bottom here, put the relevant details like your name and the number to call you back on, and there, that's it. That's all you need to do. Like here, no talk piscine ba ito. Hello, sorry, mixing one plan miss call or this la number, name lo me Douglas, me harim uh, prompt lo voicemail story yosin, this la call and come lo ok teddy. So if suppose you plan like story you want me again, you can call me back lo this la number, yeah. You can you leave the phone number now. Set 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay. Thank you very much. Me wait to call you blah. And then you end the call. So that's how you leave a voice message. Talk pising in English. You could say, hello. I got a missed call from this number. Um, I believe it's a call from um, Octedi. Apologies, I missed the call earlier. I was far away from my phone, but you can call me back on 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and yeah, I'll be happy to have a chat with you. Apologies again for missing the call, and thank you. Kind of same. Leave a nice professional voicemail message. Um, so that was I been calling you can call you back again on those number or those details that you left on the voicemail, and yeah, you can go from there again, and talk about whatever there is that they are calling you for. Right. So be professional as much as possible, all the way to the point where you need to leave a voicemail. Practice voicemail etiquette, and yeah, it should go a long way in showing that you are ready for the job, regardless of how little or puny the task is, such as leaving a voicemail message. Okay, we move on to the next slide of this module on proper telephony skills to have during the job seeking process, recommended by the PNG recruiter. So we are now on points 5 and 6. We now move straight into point 5, which is handling call waiting and call holding. Alright. So from my experience, a lot of people they're not familiar with this call waiting and call holding. So a lot of calls have been missed because maybe the receptionist from the recruitment company or the potential employer, they they got the receptionist to call, so they're going to transfer the call to the recruiter inside the office. So they will say, hello, is this Douglas? And say yes. So they'll say, please hold. So you hold the line. You don't engage it, don't end the call, just hold the line. Just hold him line. You can press him hold or something, alright? Because this person is trying to transfer your call to the hiring manager or the recruiter or the person who wants to interview you or give you the details of your interview. Alright. So whatever you do when you in a situation like that, just hold the line. Follow the instructions of the receptionist or whoever is on the line. So they'll say, hold. Can you hold the call? Or, please hold the line. That means you just hold in line to suppose who talk this now. You get up and say, okay, thank you, but me hold the line. That's all. Okay, thanks. I'll hold the line. There you go. So under point five, it says politely inform the caller before placing them on hold. So sometimes too, you might want to put them on hold, but um, yeah, if you want to put this person on hold, so you can move to a more quiet location. Somebody's asking you a question and you're on the call. So if you know how to put your call on hold, there's a button there somewhere on your mobile phone so you can pause the call or put the call on hold or mute it or so do that. Yeah, but if you're trying to do that, let the recruiter on the line know that um, you're about to take a call. Please hold the line. So what you can do is like, hello, sir. Sorry, I need to take this call or talk to this person. Could you kindly hold the line for me? I'll be back to you in just a few minutes. Okay, okay, yeah, 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 sure, no worries. I'll hold the line. So you talk, thank you, and then you go and take the call. And when you're done now, you press the call holding number. So um, you can talk to the person that was on hold. So yeah, politely informing the caller before placing them on hold is being polite and professional, and checking in periodically when keeping someone on hold is very nice and very responsible and courteous from whoever is doing this. All right. So if you got this person on hold and you're talking to somebody in person or you're on a different line, just check in with them from time to time. So don't leave them for on the line for 1 hour. Or what. That's very rude. Just check in every 5 minutes or 4 minutes. Say, sorry, I need to check on these people. Hey, one moment, and then you go, hello, I'm just checking. How are you? I say, yeah, I'm going good. Just heading home now. So, all right, we'll email you later. I'm just checking you. So, all right, thanks. Okay, see you. So, stuff like, and then you disengage the hold, and then you get up and say, sorry, I was just speaking to my daughter, my son. That's how you manage people who are on hold, on the line, on the phone line, or if you're currently on the line, that's how you inform the person who's trying to speak with you, but you're on the phone. All right. So those are some of the best ways you can handle a call waiting and a call holding. Okay, so the next one is number six, phone interview preparation. So sometimes you will be getting a phone interview. All right. Not every time you will be sitting in the office to do an interview. Some of the time member you will get interview lo phone. Where recruiter basta pla hap, pla place pla country na, member call you na, ask you some pla interview questions. So, pampla ko lo some la ways where um, how you can do this effectively in the best way. Mipla lo PNG recruiter recommend. Alright. So first thing is familiarize yourself with common phone interview questions. So yeah, you can familiarize yourself. I mean, you just refer to the module where We were talking about interview, principles and all that, or fundamentals. Yeah, try to go over that again, but this time, be aware that you are going to be doing the phone interview, um, or interview on the phone. This time it's not in person. So that's where you need to have good telephony or proper telephony skills to take this phone interview well and show them that you're the best person for the job. You only have to rely on how you talk on the phone, and how we explained earlier. You have to be firm, authentic, and show them that you are the real deal over the phone line. Must be confident through your voice. So all you have is your voice and what you're saying on the line, how you put him on talk Pisimble, um, talk English. You have to say it in a way where um, the recruiter will believe you. So yeah, phone interview preparation. Yeah, just familiarize yourself with the phone interview questions. You can always go to the interview fundamentals and make reference to those questions. But yeah, you can just also practice that and be ready for whether the interview will be on the phone or in person. That way you will be able to take care of the situation in whatever environment it is in. All right. And second one, under point 6 of phone interview preparation, is having your resume, notes, and job description in front of you. All right. So it will be very handy if you have those documents on hand. So if they ask you any questions in relation to your experience or anything, you can just jot them down on a notepad or on a piece of paper, and answer it when the question is asked of you. You can have the copy of the job description in front of you too, so you can make reference to it, and try to fit in your own answers according to what the recruiter is asking you in relation to the job description. So you are well prepared. But yeah, um, it's just good to get ready in advance before the phone interview, so you don't have any troubles or face any issues. So first is familiarize yourself with the common phone interview questions, and also have these documents like your CV, any notes you want to write down so you can remember in the interview, and the job description of the job you applied for, so you can answer the questions accordingly in the interview, because they'll be basically using what's stated in the job description to ask you the questions. So that's a little trick there. So if you happen to study the job description and put down your notes on what to say in this situation, or when this question is asked, or you might want to carry along a copy of your CV, and the recruiters there, they didn't bring the CV along, so you give the CV that you have of yourself. So these sort of things, they help in phone interview preparations. Right, we move on to the next slide of the proper telephony skills to have during job seeking process module, recommended by the PNG recruiter. We are now on point 7 and 8, and now we shall start right away with point 7, which is effective questioning. All right. So in a phone interview too, or whatever interview that you're in, whether it's in person or on the phone, you know, effective questioning is important too. So asking thoughtful questions to demonstrate interest in the role is good, and seeking clarification if you don't understand something, or something doesn't make sense when the interviewer is explaining the process. Um, Try just interject or say, sorry sir, can you explain this bit again? I'm a bit confused. Or you can see, sorry, can you clarify this again? Sorry, I just want to understand it a bit more. You know, go ahead and ask questions in the interview if you need to. Just don't ask unnecessary questions, alright? Yeah, and you should be okay. Like asking a question where you need law understanding answer blame straight. No can ask nothing just because you start the interview na election you want so you man to ask a question or whatever. Yeah, don't do that. That's where you are straying away from being an authentic person in the interview. When you're starting to, lie through your body language and your attitude in the interview. So don't do that. The interviewers will pick it up and it won't be impressive to them. So try your best to ask effective questions. Some effective questions would be like, what's the roster like? Or what are some benefits that would come with this role if I was successful in getting it? Does it come with pickup, drop off, or do I have access to a computer, or stuff like that? Just ask questions in relation to the job that you're being interviewed for, and you should be all right. Okay. So again, asking thoughtful questions is a way of demonstrating your interest in your role to the recruiter, and also seeking clarification when necessary is all right. All right. Yeah. If you're confused about something, um, just politely say, "Excuse me, sorry, can you explain this again?" So they'll be happy to explain it. So that shows that you're keen on learning more about the organization and their process or whatever the interviewer said in the interview, but you didn't hear it properly. So just be polite and try to ask good questions, effective questions to show them that you're interested in joining them. All right. Yeah, we can go through this in a bit more detail. If you have any questions, just ask me. We can go through it together. All right. Um, we go to point 8, which is managing nervousness. Right. I know that everybody gets nervous in a job interview, but there's ways of handling that sort of feeling in you before going into something like an interview. Right. So one way is practicing relaxation techniques before answering calls. Like um, you're expecting a phone interview at this time. Huh? So you're nervously holding the phone, waiting in a nice quiet spot away from noise, and you're ready to take the call, but you're nervous. All right. So the best thing to do is just breathe in and out. Just try to relax, look at something like um, a tree or a bus going here and there, or just try to keep yourself occupied, your mind busy, but you know, not too busy that you forget all everything that you're trying to say in the interview. So try to be relaxed before an interview, a job interview via a phone call, so you can speak confidently and get all the information over to the interviewer who will be asking you questions through your answers. All right. And as much as possible, projecting confidence through your voice is always a key factor in showing that you're ready for the job, and you want to show them that you're the right person for the job. So there's no other way. You can only project your confidence through your voice. So have a confident voice and answer questions accordingly. And yeah, like I said, if you want to just continue flowing, going with the flow in interviews, the best thing to do is just rely on the truth, be honest, and be yourself, your authentic self. So when you do that, you speak confidently and you speak normally in the interview, so you don't When you're thinking about those things, you are forgetting your nervousness now and you're speaking confidently. The person on the line, the interviewer, Emma no pick up low nervousness play you. You'll see that, oh, this person is confident on the line. He spoke very clearly. He's very, very confident. So there you go. Stuff like that can go a long way in you getting rid of those nervousness, allowing you to ask effective questions and acing that interview if it's on a mobile phone interview. Okay, we're on the next slide of this module on proper telephony skills to have during the job seeking process. So we are now on points 9 and 10. So point 9 is on clear articulation of skills and experience. All right. So when they ask you about a specific skill and experience, or maybe a tool or a machine that you fixed, maybe a car, you know, recruiters will want to find out what sort of models you worked on, or what skills did you use in this situation, or how was your work experience at this place that you worked at before. So in those sort of situations when you're asked for those questions, highlighting key skills and experiences relevant to the job that you did in those work experiences is very important. So you must structure your responses for clarity and impact. Okay. So time while asking you those sort of questions, you put it in the order where you see in your job how it's supposed to be done. You study law now. How did you get started on that? Machinery, what tools did you use? Did you have a team with you? You go in that order, all right? For structuring responses for clarity and impact. So when you go like that, you're telling a story, and there's stories have beginnings, middle, and then have a climax, and then how did the story finish? So structure your response like that. Study lang mitla and how you fixing this heavy equipment vehicle, and start from the start. Post to talk one and tools you using, how long did it take, and did it get on the road eventually, and no accidents, kind of stuff. So structure responses for clarity and impact, and also highlight your key skills and experience relevant to the job. Okay, so you have your job description in front of you, and you have those skills that the job description is asking for. So when they ask you questions in connection to those skills and experiences, you already know what to say because you got your job description there, and you're just you're speaking from your head now. Yeah, maybe okay, this la, this la place. Yeah, me handle it this la kind of thing. How you talk here, or this la job description there. Then more get something there, me working, me got experience. Yes, or you can say it like that. And yeah, um, if they probably ask you, do you have marketing and sales experience? And I say, yes, I do. I was a Vodafone Roadshow employee where we went out to, you know, um, to sides of roads or bus stops, and we sold flex Vodafone cards. And yeah, we did this. We sometimes played music on the side to attract customers to our desk so we could get them to buy our mobile phones or some of our cards to top up and buy data, and SIM replacements, stuff like that. Go in that structured response manner, and show that you are clear about the answer and you're clear about what you used to do that's in relation to the question the recruiter has asked, and yeah, show them that you can make an impact And yeah, it all happens by just highlighting your skills and experience that you studied or have as a copy in front of you when in a phone interview. All right. So yeah, in terms of clear articulation, skills, and experiences, be ready to do that. Talk about your skills and experiences and show them that you have the experience and skills that they are looking for or this company needs. Um, and yeah, I think that you go in a positive way towards getting a job. So that's on point 9. And we move on to point 10, which is timely follow-up calls. Okay, so knowing when and how to follow up on job applications or interviews is a key aspect of this whole job interview uh, process via mobile phone or telephone. And yeah, try not to be persistent. Like every day, but you check. Um, Send emails almost all the time, every day. Yeah, it's when you're doing that, yeah, you're showing them that you're not a patient person and you don't trust them. How can they work with you? How can the recruiter work with you when you're showing that sort of behavior? Yeah, so it's not a good behavior to show. So, yeah, so knowing when and how to follow up on job applications or interviews is an important thing that you should remember. And from the PNG recruiter, we believe that 7 days after um, the interview, the phone interview, is a good time to follow up on the interview results. Should you not get any feedback after 7 days from the interview, that would be the best time. So they can check then, and if they say that they haven't made a decision yet, then that's fine. That's your response. Wait another 7 days, and then you follow up again. In that way, you're not being annoying, you're not being a nuisance, and you're not showing that you're um, an impatient person. All right. And also to avoid this, it's best to not just focus your energy on one job. You need to apply these skills that we are teaching you in this course on other jobs so that you avoid being a nuisance or annoying person to the poor recruiter who interviewed you. So yeah, space it out by 7 days after the interview. Every 7 days after the interview, you follow up on your interview results, right? So when you do that, you're showing that you are respectful and also you're professional. You, you are polite in a manner where it's not being like persistent or annoying. All right. So those are some ways where um, you can follow up on phone interview calls that you had in a more professional manner. Okay, we are on the next slide of the proper telephony skills to have during the job seeking process module recommended by the PNG recruiter. We are now on points 11 and 12. We'll get straight into point 11, which is adapting to various communication styles. All right, so this is probably when you are communicating with somebody who's from a different country, all right? Like you would Australian, Chinese. So try to adjust, be prepared to adjust your communication style. The interviewer might be speaking in English. So again, like I said earlier, you can tell the person if you feel uncomfortable in speaking in English because you are not familiar with speaking in English. Just talking him, sorry, people story lo interview in talk pising. Never talk, yes, no worries, because why are they calling you? They're interested in you. So if they want to get the best information out of you, they want you to be comfortable. And if you study or interview or talk PC and it makes you feel comfortable, then oba same communication style. So go ahead, try to um, change up your communication style whenever you're needed. And yeah, I know a lot of guys in interviews when they're being interviewed by uh, expatriates. They know they're professionals. They know how to tailor or adapt to a sort of communication style, and they do so well because they have a lot of experience working in the in the field there with expatriates. So they know how to change it up. It could be a truck driver, or a heavy equipment fitter, or, um, geologist, or you know, all these sort of people. Sometimes you'll have to adjust your communication style to, get your point across effectively to these people who are not familiar with the PNG environment. So again, um, let's go back to the points here. So recognizing and adjusting to the communication style of the caller is a key technique, and building a rapport or building a good connection or relationship with individuals from various backgrounds whom are interviewing you is a good way to make yourself fit into the interview process, and you know what to do when you're there because you adapted to the new communication style. So try to do that as much as you can, and it also shows that you're to the recruiter that you are able to communicate at all sorts of levels, which is a overall it's a good ability to have, because they want somebody who can communicate to anybody and everybody about the business or what they're doing in the workplace. All right, and we move on to point 12, which is maintaining professionalism during difficult calls. All right, yeah, okay, this is an important one. So staying calm and composed during challenging conversations is another um, key thing to do, and redirecting the discussion to positive and constructive topics is a way of diverting away from these tough conversations. All right, a tough conversation would be like let me give an example, like you don't know how to answer a specific question. All right, because um, you start freaking out now, you're nervous, huh? So the best way is to redirect the discussion to a more positive topic. Maybe you're nervous because you didn't do the task well, all right? And the interviewer pointed it out. But then what you can do is redirect. You can agree, yeah, probably the result wasn't what we wanted, but I think at the end of the day, um, me being involved in the whole process and getting involved and learning how to do this process, yeah, was educational to me. Even though the result wasn't good, um, we I still got to learn how to do it, and now from that point onwards, I'm doing all these processes the right way. So that's how you can redirect the discussion from a negative position to a positive position and be constructive. You know, try and talk about the good in the situation and not just focus on the bad, challenging stuff in the answer that you gave. All right. So that's how you can, you know, get yourself out of challenging conversations in an interview. Right. Or sometimes an interviewer might ask something that might make you feel angry, or or sad, or you feel like you don't want to answer the question. Okay, you can just redirect to a different angle of the interview now. So just be calm. Don't show that you're angry or reacting to the question in a negative way. Stay composed during this, and then focus on a good thing that's in relation to the question being asked by the interviewer, and then you try and talk about it, connect your experience and qualifications with that, so you can get out of that challenging conversation. All right. I will try and do a video of this and put it on our YouTube channel in the future, so I can like give you practical examples of how to get out of difficult situations or calls when having a phone interview. All right. All right. All right. We're on the next slide of the proper telephony skills to have during job seeking process, recommended by the PNG recruiter. We're almost coming to the end of the module, so thanks for dropping by and learning as much as you can. So let's get into points 13 and 14. We'll start with 13, using professional language. All right. I think we touched on this earlier, um, but yeah, we'll go on it again. Avoid using slang and informal language during the interview. Try as much as possible to sound professional, stick to professional language. You yet ibasavelo mo kind of technical something not to talk long. Um, Stick to that. Don't use slang and informal language in an interview. Um, and also choosing words that convey professionalism and respect is great. Okay, so like sir or madam, or yes, I believe I was, thank you, and you're welcome. Be courteous and polite on the call. It goes a long way. Like Mr. Toko, lili something that they'll build up to big things, which is getting a job. So um, choose your words to convey in a professional and respectful manner, and avoid slang and informal language. If you must speak in talk pisin, stick with talk pisin. If you must speak in English, stick to English. If you're gonna interchange, do so, but don't get into the point where you will be using slang and informal language number. All right. So try to be as professional as you can in the phone interview, where you will be required to use professional language. And we move on to point 14, which is closing the conversation effectively. So, phone interview and finished now. So, this is how you close the call or end it. You express the gratitude for the opportunity to speak. Basically, you just go and say, thank you for giving me the chance to have an interview with you and your organization, and I look forward to hearing from your team again. So that's one way. So, thank you to me among master lo you calling me in story lo me story lo this law we can see me got good big like through lo joining this law work and joining company um, um, come now work. So something like that. Express gratitude for the opportunity to speak, right? And also confirming next steps and expressing continued interest. So yeah, so this is probably the recruiter will tell you this, or if the recruiter doesn't tell you, then you can ask like for example, so thank you. That was um thank you for the interview. I am honored to have taken part in this process. Please advise what are the next steps to take. So yeah, that's one way you can go about in confirming the next steps. Like obviously you like survey. what will happen after the interview. So that's one important question you can ask. And yeah, once they give the answer, you can get up and say, "Thank you very much. I am so interested in this job, and I look forward to getting a response from your team." Kind of thing, all right? You are expressing your continued interest. You are interested in the first time, you are interested in the middle of the phone interview, and you are still showing them at the end of the interview, even though you're going out the door, that you talk by, because you're still interested and you're still expressing your continued interest in the role. So that's great. You know, like I said, small things build to big things. And it goes a long way in showing that you are so interested in the job. And if you aced your interview and you add that on top, that's like putting the bow on the Christmas present, right? So try to do these sort of things, and it'll help you when you're having phone interviews um, in your job seeking process. Okay, we're on the last slide for the proper telephony skills to have during the job seeking process recommended by the PNG recruiter. We are now on point 15, which is tech savvy approach. Right? So, familiarity with conference calls, virtual interviews, and other telecommunication tools is a good thing to have. Regardless, suppose you on the technical man, or you are university graduate, or whatever level of education you graduated from, you have to try practice taking conference calls, virtual interviews like video calls, and using other telecommunication skills to take calls. So yeah, some of these uh, apps or applications or softwares that require or in PNG, they're using a lot to conduct video calls and conference calls and all that. Skype for Business, Microsoft Teams, Zoom, um, maybe WhatsApp for Business, and so many others. Um, those some I've used to interview candidates as well, um, from around the world and across the country. So these are some of the tools that you can use for having a telephone interview or mobile phone interview. Most of these software you can just put on your phone, and you know the employer or the recruiters will be talking on their computers, but you'll be taking the call on your mobile phone. If you have a laptop and you have the software installed, then that's great. You can just have it at home or wherever is convenient for you to have a conference call via Teams or Zoom, or Skype. Um, yeah, these are good tools to have, and sometimes you won't have a phone interview, you'll have a video call interview, so a virtual interview. So you have to be prepared now. There's no excuse to not be prepared. You just have these things basically in your phone every time. You can download it and try it out, play around with it in the house and see how to use it. So in the time where you are looking for employment and the recruiter says that you we're going to have this meeting by MS Teams. Are you comfortable with that? And you already tried it out and tested it, and you are knowledgeable in using it at home. So you say, yes, I can. I'm happy to take that video call. So there you go. Also, troubleshooting potential technical issues in advance is highly recommended, especially suppose you know clearly using this kind of something. It's good to practice. Um, Most definitely, you will know somebody in your family or in your tribe or village who knows how to use these sort of tools. So you go and see them immediately and ask them how you can use this software or this application to take the video call. All right, you have to at least try to um, teach yourself in that short space of time to use this video calling app on your computer or on your phone. Someone should help you, be able to help you in your family too. So, try and help, get that assistance as much as you can or as fast as you can before the time of the interview. But always agree to an online interview, okay? Don't say, "Oh, I don't know how to use this," or "I don't want to take the," you know, can we just have a phone call? Be honest if you've never taken part in a video call, okay? Recruiters will appreciate your honesty and willingness to take part in something you are not familiar with, okay? If you know something and you still go into that interview and you do well, man, you will be highly admired because you were in a situation where, it was either you don't take the video call or you don't have a chance at getting this job. So it shows that you are open to new things, you're willing to learn in a short space of time, and that's what some of the traits where recruiters would like to have those sort of people on their organization or in their team. So take it as a challenge, educate yourself. It should be fun. um, Try to learn and fix up any issues regarding these new video calling or virtual calling apps, and yeah, educate yourself, yeah, so you are ready to carry out the desires of the and the request of the potential employer well. If you impress these people, yeah, they'll be happy, that in a short space of time you're able to hold yourself together and perform well in a interview where you are required to use something that you've never used before. All right. So you're already showing that you're a good person to join the organization. And yeah, you're already making an impression on a potential employer with that sort of behavior.